Good afternoon, everyone. Today's soap is going to be one that uses lavender essential oil and lavender powder. I have it divided into three different colors here. I have a very nice purple, I have a lavender, and I have a gorgeous pastel blue. In each of these, in addition to the colors, I have added lavender powder into all of those, about 2 tablespoons per colorant. And in addition, in the main oil, I've added lavender essential oil. I really wanted the lavender to be pronounced in this. So I've added TD to my main colorant that I'll be adding to the mold here. And I added, this is a fairly small 2-pound mold here, so this is not a large recipe. This particular, the particular design that I'm doing today is one that a friend of mine requested. She said she liked my soaps that have the lavender in them and asked if I could get more lavender in more of a stronger scent in them without adding the flowers, because she doesn't like the flowers floating in her bathtub, which I understand actually. So that's why I've increased to maximum amount of essential oil that's recommended by both the manufacturer and by the FDA. You have to, you really need to do your research on essential oils, because there has been new science recently that they can be harmful to children in some cases. So, but do your research. Look into essential oils. Look at the most current data on that, because I think it's important that we all be educated. Okay, so yes, this is very thick, and I knew that it would be thick. That's okay. And for this particular recipe, it's fine, because I'm not going to do any, this isn't about hanger swirls or drop swirls or anything fancy. Obviously I want those colors integrated, and I will do that. I'll just do some mixing in the mold with my spatula. So that's the purple. Then I'm going to add in some of this blue, which is a very nice blue. In between, the delay there is me stirring. I stir each of these before so that they're more pourable. Didn't do that one too much good, did it? It really thickened. That's for a couple different reasons. The thickness, by the way, it's because of the lavender powder, which absorbs moisture, so they tend to get a little cakier, and I added quite a bit of that lavender powder. And all the lavender powder is, those are lavender flowers that I have ground up very fine into a very fine powder. So I'm just going to go through and alternate these colors. This is a very heavy, I didn't mention this at the beginning because I just kind of moved into it. This is a goat milk recipe, and I'm very happy with the way that it turned out, the creaminess of it. Did a water discount of my lye, mixed up my lye, let it cool to room temperature, then mixed in my goat's milk. So I'm just getting the final bits out. And now I'm just going to do a little bit of mixing with the spatula. It doesn't seem very elegant, does it? Now I'm pulling it out, and just trying to clean off what's on there, and then I'm going to pound it down, and I will do a little bit on the top. I'm not going to do anything too extravagant, but I will try to do a little bit of. So I was recently in Dallas, and it was so nice to go into the city sometimes just to pick up things that you can't get here in the country. But I picked up these wonderful sugar pearls. They're generally used on cakes and other confections, and since they dissolve in water, which I tested first too, by the way, much better than my tapioca pearls, I decided to put those on top just to give her a little bit of bling. It just looked pretty to me. It seemed like a good idea. These are coordinating colors with the soap itself. Here I'm just adding on some blue sugar, simply been colored with food coloring, and it just gives a little bit of sparkle to the top, and it's just sugar, again, water soluble. So I pounded that down again there just to make sure that those items on top stay on. As you know, sometimes when you cut them they fall off. Alright, so here it is. I was quite impressed that it held the colors. This is 24 hours later, and the colors stayed very nice. There was a real nice separation of the blue, the lavender, and the purple. Now, cutting this, I didn't line up these candies on top with where the cut bars would be. So I have to be a little careful here when cutting to avoid knocking them off. I think I only lost one in this whole process of cutting it. So that's a win in my eyes. So I'm just going to take the end off first here, just to make sure that all the bars have a nice clean appearance. And it is soft. That's one of the benefits. Yeah, there were some holes there, and I'll be very honest, I think it was because how thick it was when I pressed it down in there. I didn't pound it down enough. I should have, because I just gave it a few hits. So for future reference, there were 3 or 4 of those holes, and it only affected 2 bars, and luckily it was soft enough I was able to press it back together again, so all is well there. So I'm just tightening up my wire here. I just wanted to make sure that it would cut through. I broke it on a previous cut, so I just wanted to be sure it was good and snug. So there you can see the colors did blend nicely. Even as thick as they were, they did blend. So I'll just go ahead and cut some more for you, and I want to say thank you all to that visit. I know I have a very small audience, and that's okay. It'll grow in time, or it won't. Either way, that's all right. This is a lot of fun for me. It's therapeutic. Even if there's no audience, it gives me pleasure to do these. So if you are part of that very tiny audience, I appreciate you, and thanks for just being you. Have a fantastic day, and I'll be back tomorrow with something new and different. Have a great day.